Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to Stray Gods, where we learned some new things about people, about some new people as well in our previous episode. So let's check it out. Ready? Nothing new there. Calliope. Aha, here we go. Okay, that was unexpected. Freddy and I went to the reliquary, not expecting much, and instead we found out from Asterion that Calliope went there the night she died. Not only that, it's probably why she was attacked. She fled from the reliquary, bleeding, and probably went from there to my apartment. It's bizarre though. What was she even doing there? Asterion said that while she snuck into the reliquary, she didn't actually take anything. She set off the alarms and then ran out, chased by Asterion. And Medusa too? This is really major. How will I find out what happened to her inside? Good question. Nothing new there, I think. I don't think there's anything new about Apollo either. Yeah. Athena? Asterion mentioned that Athena came to the reliquary the day after Calliope died. Tipped off by Medusa, maybe? Or by Hecate herself, I guess. Athena swore Hecate to secrecy about everything, but not Asterion, as he happily pointed out. But does this mean she knows what happened to Calliope there? Well, so much for that. I went back to the underworld, hoping to mend things a bit with Persephone after I left with Apollo, but I guess she's not having it. I don't get the sense we're enemies or anything, but I don't suppose I'll be getting more help from her anytime soon. Yeah, she wasn't exactly in a friendly way. I went to see Pan in his natural habitat this time, which it turns out is a giant garden on the roof of a magic office building. Go figure. Anyhow, he's calling in the favor I owe him and sending me to some place called the Reliquary, which I get to by using a magic key and finding a shipping container at the docks to fix an idol's love life. Weird, but okay. I guess I assumed Pan's favors would involve, I don't know, mysterious things? Illegal things? There has to be more to this. So Freddy and I went to the reliquary to do Pan's little favor, and wouldn't you know it, that's where Calliope was attacked. that's where she was before she went to my apartment. That's quite a coincidence, isn't it? Pan said that Hecate, goddess of black magic, might be of help in my search, and he was wrong. Very wrong. What he didn't say was why. She's the giant librarian witch goddess, sworn to secrecy about anything related to her extra-dimensional tower fortress thing. Sound weird? That's because it is. And she is, but she's also kind of earnest and cool too. She knows the future, but will do whatever's supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen. I'll never wrap my head around that. She wasn't going to break her oath to Athena at any rate, so I had to go along with Asterian's crazy plan to woo her with a song. Not that he got what he wanted in the end. Hecate offered him an illusion spell so he could look for his love among the mortals, and things are probably better off that way anyhow. Hecate is not really the falling in love sort, I think. I still wish she had maybe been willing to bend the rules even a little to help me out, but nope. I don't get everything I want either. Get this. The Asterion who Pan sent me to is none other than the Minotaur. That's right, half man, half bull, but not really the monster all the stories talk about. Actually, I take that back. He's not a monster at all. He's an adorable, awkward, stuttering pile of man pudding who's hopelessly in love with Hecate, and he's desperate for my help to hook them up. In the end, I couldn't do it, or maybe it's better to say it was never meant to happen. It still worked out for Asterion, I think, because Hecate cast a spell to make him fall out of love with her, and promised to help him find love among the mortals instead. I'm trying to imagine him going out into the mortal world, disguised as a human and going on dates. It would almost be cute if I didn't imagine the disasters awaiting him with modern dating. Poor man. I hope it works out. Yeah. Now this is interesting. According to Asterion, Medusa was at the reliquary the night Calliope died, and that's where Calliope was attacked. He says Medusa was out there in the mists and never got inside at all, but what was she doing there in the first place? The reliquary is not some place you just wander past by accident. Asterion said Medusa's pretty scary. Maybe she's the culprit we're looking for? Oh, right. We need to choose where to go next. Talk to Freddy? Maybe? Or Apollo? Let's talk to Freddy.
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse?
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
I don't think muses really have high priestesses, but I appreciate the sentiment.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
Okay.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddie?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
Oh,
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me, I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost, but also what might still be out there.
yeah, we haven't exactly met all of them.
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9, though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then. You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? All those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline, "Greek gods exist and are living among us." What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right. I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
All right. Let's go see Apollo, update him on the goings-on, and also find out if he's come up with anything.
Ah, Grace, you're back. That's good. I was just about to call you.
He means he wants me to call you because Paul here still hasn't figured out how to use a phone.
That's not true. I know how, I just don't like them. They're confusing. Anyhow, I've been contemplating our list of suspects, and I think Pan is someone we need to consider.
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
Persephone did, but I've had time to think it over. Pan is a schemer, a traitor in favors. He always has been. His sudden appearance in all this cannot be coincidental.
You think he could have killed Calliope after all?
Perhaps. Or he knows who did and is trying to turn it to his benefit. He always knows more than he pretends.
Yeah, and also he didn't exactly deny being somehow involved. I don't think he's the one who killed her, but maybe he is. involved in some kind of way.
Wait. You don't like phones?
I just don't like talking to people I can't see.
No, it's the ringtones. They scare the crap out of him. I kid you not.
I'm not frightened. Only a child would be frightened. They're just very loud.
Yeah.
Can we return to the subject of Pan, please?
Let me offer an alternative to your Pan theory. What about Medusa?
Medusa? What have you been up to, Grace?
Right, let me explain.
Well, if Asterion is right, then Medusa was at the reliquary at the same time as Calliope. I take it you intend to seek out Medusa.
I have to know why she was there. She could have been the one who attacked Calliope.
And she very well could attack you. Medusa is unpredictable at best and dangerous at worst. Pan is, I believe, still worth looking into. He may even know something about Medusa.
Okay.
Aphrodite is holding a party of sorts, one you should attend. She is closest to Pan. Indeed, she knows almost all the idols. If anyone is up to something, she's bound to know.
All right.
What do you mean by a party of sorts? I mean, I'm always down for a party, but...
It's more of a remembrance than a party, really. It's difficult to describe.
That's awfully vague, Apollo.
It'll be easier to see for yourself. It's nothing you can't handle.
Is it like a wake for Calliope?
Wouldn't it be better if I checked out Medusa instead?
Trust me, this will be safer.
Hey, I'm not helpless, you know.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just suggesting you go to this party first.
Yeah, maybe we can get some more info to back us up when we go see Medusa.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
Well, talking to Aphrodite isn't something anyone does with much success these days.
Well, if that's the case, what makes you think I'll get anywhere?
There's a standing invitation for the Muse to attend this party. Calliope never went, so Aphrodite will be thrilled to see you. Trust me. If I thought you couldn't get her to talk, I wouldn't suggest it.
Okay, I'll go. Eventually.
Perfect. I will see you there.
All right.
Paul, you should see this. The names you wanted me to look up are getting weird results.
I don't doubt it. I was hoping you could...
Get over here!
No worries, Paul. I'll see you later.
Okay. Let's go to this party. As I said, maybe we can get some info from there that'll help us when we go face Medusa.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace, you made it. I'm so glad. I was beginning to wonder.
You didn't say this was a fancy party. I feel a little underdressed.
Grace, look at me. I didn't even button up my shirt. It's fine.
Why is everyone so quiet? You'd think someone died.
I should have told you about this earlier. I've been putting it off.
I don't like the sound of that. What am I missing?
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No déjà vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but Eventually, you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories. So the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
That's a lot to take in. I'm not sure what to think.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
In front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace, to make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye, at least for a while.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past, while she still remembers it.
Okay.
Wait. Calliope refused to come to these parties. That's what you said.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war, and eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
All right. Well, I mean, it is her choice.
Okay, so what did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What does she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Okay.
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Let's go talk to Eros. I mean, we don't really know a whole lot about him. So let's get to know him better.
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh, okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Apollo told me. Calliope always refused to come to these things, right?
Yeah, no matter how much Aphrodite begged. Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel for him. He's kind of close with Aphrodite, and it must be difficult to see her go through this. Like, every what? Every couple of centuries, or every, I don't know.
Hey, I understand. This can't be easy.
She's the one who is suffering. I shouldn't be complaining. I just hate this. I'm there every day, going through it all with her. The nightmares, the panic attacks, the weeks when she just won't get out of bed. I'm there when she forgets the war's over, and I hold her until the screaming stops. Me. I do that.
That sounds awful.
And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Yeah, can't she find some kind of a way to get over it so that she doesn't have to do this anymore?
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't usually talk about it, but I know you don't mean any harm. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
Yeah.
No. Should I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Maybe I just don't understand, but isn't this like suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die for a while.
What is my part in all of this? I'll help if I can.
Aphrodite loves drama. She always has. She wants us here to, well, to remember, to celebrate our history. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I'll do my best.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
Does Apollo have anything to say about this?
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble, piece by piece, only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
I thought of Pan too, when she said drunk uncle who everyone has to apologize for.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
Is your assumption that all those centuries bring great wisdom?
Don't they?
We get older. We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer, but wiser. No. Not so far.
I should get back out there.
Okay, well, I guess we've talked to both Apollo and Eros now. So let's wait for Aphrodite. And then do our best to help her.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survived my trial?
Yeah, Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
I just want to say... I'm really sorry that this happened to you, that you need to do this.
A babe in our dreary world, and yet already possessed of such earnest purpose.
Weren't you opposed to this, Grace?
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
I've had a great deal of time to prepare. I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
Yeah.
To ease your suffering? To forget about what happened?
An escape into the soothing blackness. To swim in Lethean waters, at least for a time.
Does it help?
I don't know. Each Aphrodite before me begged for mercy. This is all I can do for all of us. Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
Okay. I think we're kind of ready. Oh, Venus. Sure.
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Don't worry about it. My foot has been lodged firmly in my mouth since this began.
It's a relief to know I won't be the only one. If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
Not really. I still felt like me, if that's what you're asking.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that?
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
It isn't for me to decide whether this is wrong or right.
You probably need to get ready. I shouldn't keep you.
No, this is Lady Aphrodite's big night, not mine.
It'll be yours later, won't it?
Yeah, I guess it will.
Does Apollo have anything more to say before we begin?
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
I was hoping she might have spared a moment.
What should I do?
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
All right. I guess we'll begin, and I'll do my best to convince Aphrodite to not go through with this.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse, that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. We sought shelter from the shadows, but were soon ripped from the dark. Those mortal souls that ended us were jealous from the start. They hunted me for power to fuel their psychopathic cause. And once they fell before me and worshipped all I was, they chased me down and threw me in a cage, held me prisoner for so long. I thought I'd win their hearts again. I was wrong. I was wrong. Oh, the power of the idols pounds within your chest. But for now I am in mourning for a love gone unexpressed. He was harder than a chisel. I was a horrid block of ice. A winter's chill that stayed until he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
Which one? I'm afraid if we sympathize with her, then maybe she won't have second thoughts. If we say we have doubts, then maybe it sounds a bit too cold. I don't think confronting her aggressively like this, saying you need to stop, this is pointless, is the way to go. So I'm kind of deliberating between the green and the blue. Let's show sympathy.
I can't believe what I'm hearing today. If your story stops there, I've nothing to say. everything's ash. I can't imagine.
There's no excuse, but mortals can tell.
You know.
There's no sweet release, it's ongoing.
You know. You know.
Everyone's here to bid me farewell. Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
This really happened. I can't forgive, the river's too deep. Its reflection won't lie, so just let me sleep. I can't let go of what could have been.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment.
Mother, I've stood by your side, now I no longer see the purpose of love when it tears at the center of me. My arrows are rusty, forget the bow, and I won't be begging you not to go. But when you're away, you leave us a broken home. And you leave me alone, lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
I mean, it isn't really my place to tell anybody what to do. I mean, she does deserve mercy, but then also, if she was to keep on living and keep on trying to get over it and keep on trying to evolve, instead of just trying to forget. Yeah, I can't tell you what to do. You have to make up your
If
own
anyone
mind.
would know about the mysteries of love, you would know. Only you can decide. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment. Lost in a moment.
Lost in a moment.
Are you?
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
I'll help if I can. If I'm still you know.
I would really like that, Grace.
I honestly hope you get the chance. The fact that you came, it meant so much to her. And to me. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I'm not sure. Calliope was attacked at the reliquary, so it had to be someone who had access.
So that's where she went. Calliope came to see Aphrodite and I that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why. She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
A plan? A plan for what? What could she find at the reliquary that would help her?
Maybe she wanted a weapon. Something to defend herself with.
But she got inside and didn't take anything.
Even Hecate doesn't know what she was there for? I thought she knew everything.
I'm afraid I can't be much help, Grace. Few have access to the reliquary, and I have no idea even who they are.
If Medusa was there, I'd suggest asking her how and why. Lady Aphrodite was always suspicious of her true motives.
Come now, Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
So, did they have anything helpful? I see. Then you still intend to seek her out.
Yeah, pretty much. But, maybe he could come with and protect us?
You could come with me, you know. The more the merrier. To protect me?
As if you, of all people, need protection.
Well, I don't know. This Medusa sounds like a pretty tough character, even for me.
Athena employs Medusa as a spy master of sorts. She works from the shadows. I don't actually know where she is. I'll see if I can find out. But it won't be a simple matter. You should probably ask around. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What Aphrodite went through, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the life of an immortal. It never ends.
Wow. Way to really sell it, Apollo.
You really are amazing, you know that? Every hurdle, every piece of unpleasant news, you just keep on going. I don't know how you do it.
It kind of helps that I don't have a choice.
I just wish I could see the world through your eyes. Next to you, I feel very old.
How about you come with me sometime? Let me show you the world I see.
A tempting offer.
Sounds kind of corny, huh?
It really doesn't. I would love that. Can we go now?
Hey, I'm game if you are.
Take my hand for a minute. Let your hair down for a second. There's so much to like if you open your eyes. If you try to search for the light, you might be surprised. No, it's not hard to find the courage you need to be joyous.
something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. That I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
I'll take your hand for a minute. Oh, it's more than I feel I deserve. It could grow on me, this world that you see. Yet I've been alive for too long. 1,000 years of learning about what could go wrong. I'm tired of being wrong.
Apollo, I'm sure you've had it rough. 1,000 years of life is hard, but easier with someone like me to lean on. The courage you need to be joyful.
I appreciate the
Something I'll
campaign.
come help you find.
If I ever let her know.
No matter what I do, the answer's in you.
The answer's
But
in
I'll hold
me.
your hand all the while.
The courage you need to be joyful is something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
Aw, that was beautiful. I guess in the next episode we'll go confront Medusa. Maybe we should go talk to Apollo first. See if he'll come along. It would be nice to have some backup. I'm really sad that we couldn't convince Aphrodite to stay, but I kind of feel like it was her choice to make. Like, the most we could do was make sure that she really knew that she needed to or wanted to do it. I wasn't comfortable with the more aggressive options of trying to force her to not do what she did. It was her choice. And well, she made it, and I guess, well, we'll see if it has any kind of a bearing on the kind of main story here. And anyway, in the next episode, I think I'll go talk to Apollo first, and then go see Medusa. But for now, thank you so much for watching and spending a little of your time with me here today. It was lovely to have you. Please remember to be kind to yourself. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.